Hi, my name is Olivia Tyndall, and the artist that I chose to do research on is Michelangelo. To start off, his name, birthday, and death date. I'm not going to try pronouncing his full name, so we'll just go with Michelangelo. He was born on March 6, 1475, and he died on February 18th, 1564. So he would have been 88 years old when he died. Next is where and when he created his work. He was born in Caprice, Italy, and lived most of his life in Rome. And he didn't really go many other places with his work, so this is where most of it was created. At the age of 13 is when he became the apprentice of painter Domenico. I'm also not going to try pronouncing that last name. This is when he really got into the arts instead of being into school and education. He had a really creative mind, and he would often be mesmerized by the paintings on the side of the church, and so his parents let him start studying under Domenico at 13. And he's known for his works during the time of the Italian Renaissance, which is 1350s to 1600s, which is right during the time when he lived. And some of his greatest contributions to society were through his work were his depictions of muscle and bone anatomy, because it really showed and passed down how the movement of the body works and how all the different muscles were correct in his work. And so, to conclude, most of his artwork was created in Florence and Rome. Next, some important information. This is a quote taken off of one of the biographies written about him. Is Michelangelo's distinct style was a muscular precision and reality combined with an almost lyrical beauty. So he combined that anatomical correctness with art and just made it into his own creative style, and he was consistent with this. Some other information is he had a quick temper, so he would often be able to express his emotions through his artwork. And he also was a writer. He wrote over 300 poems. So he just really had a creative brain and just a mind for the arts. And he received a lot of support from wealthy families and leaders in the church during the time because of the type of religious work he was creating. So on to his actual work. This first picture is of the Sistine Chapel, which took him 4 years to paint. It's probably his most famous artwork, and there's lots of different images within it, but as a whole, this was probably what he's most well known for. It has a lot of religious scenes throughout it and uses a lot of royal looking colors like bronze and gold. It's located in the Vatican City, which is in Rome, and he painted this mural using a technique called fresco, which is where the mural is painted by water that's combined with dry pigment straight onto freshly laid lime plaster. So this is a technique he used to paint the Sistine Chapel. And next, this is one of the most famous images within the Sistine Chapel, is the creation of Adam. It's very famous because it shows a very powerful image of God reaching down and creating Adam, and God is surrounded by his angels. And this is why it's so popular, is because this vision was coming to life of one of, the creation of man, and a lot of people value that story in the Bible. So next is the crucifix, another religious piece. And this is very important to many religious people at the time because it shows Christ being crucified, which is a symbol of salvation and God saving the sins of man. And this was just a really influential piece, and it's a sculpture. You can also see the anatomy of the man, and his muscles and his bones are correct and very accurate. Next is Pieta, I think, and took him a year. It's a sculpture. This is also a religious piece. Many believe that it's Mary holding the dead body of her crucified son. So again, another powerful message that he was conveying. You can really see the detail he carved out in this sculpture and how much time it took, and you can also see on the Jesus's body the detail of his muscles and bones. Next is Donnie Tondo, which also is referred to as the Holy Family. It's believed to possibly have been a painting commissioned to him by a wealthy family, and this family is believed to be Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus. So again, another religious depiction. Next is a statue of Victory. This took him 2 years, and it's a very detailed human body again. Shows a lot of realistic anatomical features. It was a great contribution because it kind of showed people and passed down the way that muscles move and look whenever you're in movement. And the pose itself is a very like heroic and prideful pose of victory, and it conveys a very strong feeling to its audience. Next is Angel. The statue is carved from marble, and when Michelangelo was asked about the sculpting process, he said he saw the angel in marble and carved him until he set him free. So this kind of just helps you get a grasp on who Michelangelo was. He had a very artistic mind, a lot of really impressive and talented creative skill just to look at the marble and carve an angel from it. Also, kind of an out of the box answer. I don't think many people would say that they were carving an angel free during their art process, but this is the kind of guy that he was. And lastly is The Last Judgment. This was frescoed onto the wall behind the altar of the Sistine Chapel. This is an image depicting the second coming and final judgment of God on all of humanity. This was kind of like a shock to the audience at first because just of the powerful and intense message and all of the details that it shows, and it kind of just brings to life a time in the Bible that is really hard to envision. And so this is why it was such an important piece and why it's very well known. And these are my works that I did. Thanks for listening.